So today we are going to be talking about this chapter, relations and functions. And in class 12, this is the first concept, types of relations. Mostly during the course of the videos for the next few sessions, we are going to talk about different types of relations. So let's get started. Now, before we begin with the different types that we are going to cover today, I'm going to tell you about the most basic thing about relations. So suppose we are considering any two sets A and B. So there's a relation from A to B, which basically means that this relation R is a subset of A cross B. Now, whenever you think about subsets, what is the first obvious subset that comes to your mind? So we think about the null set. So corresponding to that set, we get the null or void or the empty relation. Similarly, when you think about another obvious subset, which is the set itself, we actually get the universal relation. So basically, if you actually explore the fact that this is the subset of A cross B and the kind of subsets we can have, you obviously understand different types of relations. You don't have to remember these things. Just look at the name and things will be pretty clear. Now, if you look at the basic arrow diagram here, I have taken this particular diagram. As you can see, no element is connected to any other element of A. So clearly it's a void or null relation. So there's no order pair at all. In fact, if you look at the next example, you will see that for all those 9 ordered pairs that we can have in A cross A, all of them are present. You take any element, suppose 2, it's connected to all the possible elements like 1, 2, 3, and this happens for everyone. So this is basically a universal relation. Now, apart from these two, we are going to talk about another special type of relation for which I'm going to take a very simple example. Suppose this is 1, 2, 3, okay? And I'm taking any relation on that set given by R, which is basically having 3 ordered pairs 1, 1, 2, 2, and 3, 3. Now, if I look at the diagram here, this is the basic arrow diagram. You will notice that under this relation, all the elements have their identities preserved. So 1 is getting mapped to 1, 2 is getting mapped to 2, etc. So this is called the identity relation. Mathematically speaking, what you are going to write is on any set A, IA, which is the identity relation on A, is nothing but the collection of all possible elements of the form A comma A. So this is called the identity relation. Now you know that this first set, whenever you have this, ordered pairs, you collect all the first components, you get the domain, and for the next one, you basically get the range. Now, based on this, we are going to learn about few types of relations as well. So start with the first basic thing, which is called the 1-1 relation. If you look at the name, you will get the definition very easily. So basically what you have is each and every element, whatever you have in the domain, it's going to be related to one and only one element of the codomain and vice versa. Just let's take a look at this example. If you take any element like 1 is related to 5, 2 is related to 6, etc. So mathematically, if you have any element x in the domain which is related to both y and z, then the only obvious consequence will be y and z being equal. The next type is many-one relation. Again, if you look at the name, it's very self-explanatory. If you take the basic elements from the domain, you will get more than one element in the domain which is related to a single element of the codomain. So if you look at this example, you will see that 1 is related to 6. In fact, 2 is also related to 6. So you have more than one such element here which is related to a single element of the codomain. And finally, you have one-to-many relation. Again, look at the name. Basically, you are going to have at least one element which is connected to more than one element in the codomain. Now, if you look at 1, okay, so basically it's going to be actually related to 2 as well as 3. In fact, look at 3 is related to 5 and 6. These kind of relations are called one-to-many relation. But always remember, since we are saying at least one, even if you can find out one such example, you're good to go. So these are the types of basic relations that we are going to cover in this particular video. So let's recap what we have already learned. So based on different types of subsets, first we have the null or empty set, Then we have the universal set giving the universal relation. Finally, we have talked about identity relation. So these were the first three things. And based on the kind of domain and codomain and relation we have one, we have many one, and finally, we have one to many. So these are the things that you need to remember for basic types of relations. In the next video, we are talking about different special types of relations. So stay tuned.